Welcome back to What Are Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the T92 HMC. It's the tier 10 American SPG. It's the biggest gun in the game, 24 centimeters. Yes, much bigger than any of the 183mm behemoths that you find in the game. Yes, or even the 17 centimeter Jagdpanzer E100 that you find alongside it. This one is under the command of Oksydor, and it's on the northeast corner of the Arctic region, otherwise known as Mannheim Line. Well, I don't think it will have escaped your attention that there's 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of that howitzer. Yes, he's that good, very good indeed. And also there's a Polish flag as well on the side because Oksydor is Polish, and I'm a proud member of his clan as well, OLIMP. In fact, I'm not the only one. There's a lot of members, Arty members, joining OLIMP because it's such a good clan. Okay, first target is a Heshbarm, but unfortunately he dives into cover before we can get a shot off. But you notice how Oksydor carefully and angled the, changed the aim, got a direct hit on an E100 for 678 hit points, and he's getting damage assist as he tracked the guy. Now, this Arty will do 1100 alpha. It's capable of 1420 with the special HE, and that's why he's using, that's what he used on the E100. That's why he got such a big result. It looks like he's trying to get another one, but I think that guy's going to get into cover. Oh, well, I was wrong. No, he just got absolutely nuked, and it was actually our Jaegeru who got the kill shot. Okay, now, yes, normally with standard HE, it's 1100 alpha, 60mm of pen, 12.4 meters burst radius. With the special HE, it's 1420 with 75mm of pen and the damage radius of 7 meters, only 7. Okay, that Jaegeru has just stopped. He's now a target, rounds out, and direct hit right on top of him. He's not going to be happy about that because that direct hit probably did quite a bit of damage. Well, one of the enemy tanks, or some of them, are actually fairly close now. You just notice them. They've popped up at the pass, and they've managed to break through because there's really nobody defending that corner. So we do have a defense in strength and depth, actually, you could say, on this side of the map. We're not intruding at all on the enemy side. We're just basically defending as strong as we can and making it more difficult for the enemy to try and get to our cap area. Now, the one bad thing about this Arty is the lack of ammo. You only get 16 rounds, which is a great pity because I have been moaning about this quite a lot recently to say you don't get enough ammunition on certain Artys. And this is one of the ones that really does suffer. 16 rounds is not enough to last an entire battle. In fact, I have run out on more than one occasion of ammunition, and then you're left in the position where you don't know what you're going to do next. Well, there is a Jaegeru there. So I think he's going to hit that guy blind. Rounds out. Oh, and the shell went long. Well, that's unfortunate, but it might have splashed the Jaegeru anyway. Standard reload, 47.98 seconds. Was it 46.98 seconds? And he's got a reload time of 36.91. So he's shaved 10 seconds off his reload time. That's a lot. Obviously, that normally would be the fact that he's using premium consumables, food, and he's using a rammer and a good crew. And that should help speed up the reload. Now, we can't see any of the enemy at the moment. They should be fairly close, but they're hiding at the moment. I think they're hiding because they were taking damage from our guys every time they poked their nose out. And so the only enemy that can be seen at the moment is right down the south coast. It's a Leopard 1. And the only reason that's happening is because we've got a tank there trying to get through their lines. Oh, a few more are now being spotted. And there's the T100 LT. Oh, now he felt that one. 695 hit points of damage. He's auto-aimed onto the target for the moment. Now, a lot of players actually do use the standard battle assistant that actually comes with Wargaming and with the program, but it's not the best system, actually, funnily enough, because it does have this habit of suddenly tipping up at certain points and giving you a different view that you don't really want, where it tries to look over an object to show you the target. There is a better battle assistant at What Inspector, and we do leave a link to that in the description beneath the video. So if you ever want to get a better battle assistant, you can get one by first loading Aslains mods just to get the battle assistant. You don't have to take anything else, and then going to What Inspector and signing up. And the good thing about that battle assistant is it also has shell camera. And shell camera, if you just press the Alt key down, will follow the shell as you fire it. So you actually get to see the enemy tanks hit at close range. Still no sign from that T100. I think he really felt that one, because he's down to about a third of his hit points left now. A little more about the T92. Based on the T26 E3 chassis, that's a Pershing chassis. It was actually an adjusted one. They took the standard Pershing off the production line, they lengthened it, added an extra set of road wheels, because of course it was having to carry a huge great howitzer, which was really heavy, so they needed extra suspension, and they even changed the drive sprocket. So the drive sprocket used to be at the rear on a Pershing, and they actually put the drive sprocket at the front, which was easier to carry the weight. Oh, one of our guys is in the corner, and the enemy Arty, which is an Object 261 and a T92 HMC, were firing shells into that corner. It's another reason why it's not a good idea for Arty to be up in that corner, because you do stand the possibility of receiving fire. It's also fairly obvious when we fire, because of course now that Wargaming has made our tracer much more obvious, if we do shoot from a corner, then it's going to be spotted straight away by the enemy Arty, and they're going to say, okay, well, we'll put a shell in there. There's also a sweet spot in the corner, which many of you know about, which is the exact spot where you can get the best cover from behind the trees, and it looks like our teammate up there is still taking fire from the enemy Arty. Yes, if you put the shell into the sweet spot, there's a pretty good chance you are going to hit a tank that's actually using the trees for cover. Well, we're only one tank down at the moment. There's the Jaegeru, and he's about half his hit points. In fact, probably less than half. And we're going to see if we can get a blind shot on him. Or are we? No, we decided to hold back, wait until we can see the target. There's enemy tanks just around that corner, but we haven't fired. There's the Jaeger. Oh, we just killed our 780, but rounds out on him. Oh, that one hit the gun mantlet, but it still did a huge amount of damage. 457 hit points. So we're 2 down on the enemy, but as I said, it's defense in strength. Makes it much more difficult for the enemy to try and take our cap area, because there's just so many tanks they have to get through if they want to get close. We're now 3 down on the enemy, but I don't think that's a problem. Yes, it does lead to a bit of a stalemate situation, because if the enemy pokes their nose out, they're likely to get it blown off. And there's the enemy Arty firing again, and it looks like they're trying to counter battery. Yep, that shell landed very close to us, but it was actually aimed at the bushes just ahead of us. So obviously they're guessing as to where we are. Okay, enemy tank spotted, we're loaded, lining up on the Hori 3. He's backing off, not going to help him. Oh, that hurts! 592 hit points. When he did back up, he actually touched the fences. Now, that might give away his position, but you notice how he's quickly changed. Enemy Arty appeared to be focusing on our Grilla 15, though. We're also way down on hit points. Yes, we're 3,000 down. Okay, that Hori 3 pops up again. The other Arty on our team is a GWE900. He's the one who's firing the Hori. Oh, kill shot! Lovely one. 645 hit points. So we're now just one tank down. And now we're starting to see the enemy tanks coming up the South Pass. Our Centurion is moving out the way quickly. Oh, took 2 big hits. I think that was the Gorilla 15 just around the corner, just planted around into the Centurion. And he lost, I think, just over 700 hit points with that shot. But now this Super Conqueror is going to feel the wrath of 24cm shell. Well, it landed short and there was no damage on that one. But I get the feeling that Super Conqueror is not too happy about going up via the open route, because he saw that shell explode and thought, no, I think I want to go around the corner this way. It doesn't really protect him as much. Now, Oksydor's got the difficult job of lining up the shot. Notice how the green line ends at the Super Conqueror, and when he disappears, it suddenly appears elsewhere. He's lined up. Rounds out. Direct hit. 559. Now, he is running short on shells. But there's only 3.5 minutes left in the game. He actually hasn't fired as much as I have in a battle, so he does actually have some protection. And the enemy Arty is now trying to get him. They've stunned him, but they didn't get any damage off that one. So they have an idea where he is. They can't pin him down precisely. Okay, we've got the FE4005. Yes! Kill shot! That one went straight through the side of his turret. A second kill for Oksydor. Nice. Okay, Super Conqueror's trying again. Obviously, a little disheartened by his last attempt. He's trying to use his gun depression to get shots and poking up, having a look, firing, pulling back to reload. But again, that's not going to stop Oksydor. He's dialed in the aim precisely. He's waiting for the shell. Rounds out. And another 531. And he got damage assist. Oh, but this time the enemy RT was more accurate. And he did get a hit. It looks like he hit the rear quarter of the T92. Can't see the precise mark where it landed. Okay, so he has taken some damage now. He's only got 85 hit points, and that means that technically he is a splash kill. If the enemy RT can get another shot on him, he would expire. So he needs to be careful and avoid another shell hitting. That was a very good kill, the Heshpan. You can see it there. He got the turret right on the side, just as he was turning the turret sideways to shoot at our teammates. Unfortunately, he just didn't think about the Arty shooting into the side of his turret, which of course would go straight through that very thin armor. With 2 tanks down. Now, the Object 261, which does actually have quite a fast fire rate, we haven't heard from him yet, again. But he's probably running short on shells himself, because he only has 20, let alone the 16 that the T92 has. So he might run out of ammo before the end of the game. Oh, another hit! And this time it's another kill. Now we need to change position this time. Not too much. We don't want to expose ourselves to that Object 140, but we have to get away in such a way so we can avoid any splash. Now, something I did notice is the enemy gorilla is very low on hit points, and oh, now they just made an attempt to try and get here, and their Object 140, was it the 140? No, it's the T100 LT died, but we were spotted, so we need to move away from this firing position and avoid the enemy Arty fire, which will more than likely be headed in our direction. We're trying to get a shot on the 140. Lining it up. Get it right. Yeah! Fantastic shot! 591 hit points. Right in the face. And now the Arty's trying to make us pay, and he does. Well, it was worth it. It was worth it. And the clock's run out. It's a draw. Well, that battle definitely gave you your money's worth, because that was a fantastic standoff against the enemy. It was a bit of a stalemate, but boy, at the end, Oksydor really came through for his team and was getting kill after kill. In fact, the enemy was one tank down at the end, and it was 4 versus 3. They only had the 2 Arty left and 1 other tank. But yes, they still managed to get the stalemate because, of course, they kept the enemy away from their cap. You looked at a first-class tanker in that game, as well as a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills, some good kills as well. He also got a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9. He got a gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And yes, he got the high caliber of that last shot, the last kill he managed to get. He got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. And just look at that win rate, 10,341. That's Super Unicum and a lot more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, highest damage in the game was 6,578 hit points. The next highest scorer in the game was the GWE 100, who managed 3,410, followed by the Object 780, yes, 3,285. I had to look there because the Concept 5 on the enemy team was the 4th highest damage in the game. He got a Confederate in 3,237. When it came to kills, yep, Oksydor got that one too. 4 kills to him. 2 kills went to the Strip 103B on our own team, the T100 LT on the enemy team, their Object 140 and their Grilla 15. And it was Concept 5 was the only tank left remaining on the enemy team alongside their Object 261 and their T92. You can see them there. They're the only ones that are still in the same color. When it came to base XP, because it was a draw, it went down to basically how much did they do, how much damage. And we can see that Oksydor managed 564 as the highest base XP. Second highest went down to the T100 LT. I think that's down to the fact that he got spotting in this game. Yes, a lot of spotting. 4,860 in total, and not a bad amount of actual damage as well. So combined, he actually had over 7k of actual complete total damage, but nowhere near the amount that Oksydor managed to get in that game, because remember, Oksydor was getting stun assist as well. Well, so he's got the highest, the T100 LT got the second highest, and the third highest went to the 780 on our team, 479. Oksydor fired 15 rounds, so he still had 1 round spare when he was wiped out. He got 10 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations, but 13 splash. Damage of 6,578, of which 4,741 were up more than 300 meters. So you can see some of those shots were really close to him at the time. In fact, I think it's most of the tanks that were actually coming from the west that were actually getting really close to him. But he really punished them by smacking them in the side of the turret or right on the front of the vehicle. And with those non-stun HE, which have more damage, he actually managed to overwhelm them. He also received 3 hits by way of splash. Obviously, one was a near miss, which stunned him. Another one was the hit that actually did reduce him to a splash kill. And the last shot that actually came in was the kill shot. But it was after he managed to get another kill to get the highest kill score. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 4 were killed, 1,153 hit points of stun assist. So combined damage was in the 7.5 to 8k region. So he was getting close to 8k. He earned a profit from that game of 42,466 credits. He did get a mission completion in there as well for 40,000. He got 5 bonds because it was tier 10. And he took away 1,338 experience points altogether. But I think you can see why Oksydor has 3 marks of excellence on the barrel of his howitzer. It's because he is very, very good at this. He's practiced. He plays it perfectly. He does exactly what he needs to do. He was actually rolling up the bank slowly, getting closer to the fence so he could level the gun off and loop the shell directly over those dragon's teeth stones into the front of the enemies. And yes, he did as well as he could under the circumstances. He couldn't move away from the spot that he was in, because if he had, the Object 140 might have spotted him. But that last shot, I mean, that made up for it, even though he died in the process because the enemy Arty nailed him in the end. At least he got the benefit of that shot and got the high caliber as well. So congratulations to Oksydor. Good defense. Yes, it was a draw, but what the hell, it was a good game. Very good game. If you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.